I suspected my husband was planning a divorce, so I moved my assets. 2 weeks later, he filed, and then panicked when his plan backfired. The moment that changed everything wasn't a scream or a fight. It was silence. We had been married for 9 years, and for the last year something about him had gone quiet in a very specific way. Not distant. Calculated. He stopped arguing, stopped defending himself, stopped caring if I was upset. He watched me the way someone watches a clock when they're waiting for a meeting to end. That night, he left his laptop open on the kitchen counter while he went to shower. I wasn't snooping. I was putting my phone on charge. The screen lit up when I brushed it with my hand, and there it was, a spreadsheet with my name, his name, assets, liabilities, and a projected timeline. It didn't say divorce in big bold letters, but it didn't need to. I knew exactly what I was looking at. There was a line for the house. Another for his retirement account. Another for anticipated spousal support. I remember standing there, barefoot on the cold tile, heart pounding so hard I felt dizzy. He hadn't said a word to me. No counseling talk. No, we need to discuss our future. Just numbers. Just preparation. I didn't confront him. That was the first decision I made that saved me. Instead, I started paying attention. I noticed how he'd started casually mentioning how some people get screwed in divorces. How he joked about friends who lost everything. How he suddenly wanted me to quit my side business because it was too much stress and barely making money anyway. I realized then that this wasn't just a divorce plan. It was a positioning strategy. So I quietly made my own plan. I met with a lawyer and asked one question. What am I allowed to do before anything is filed? She was very clear. I couldn't hide joint assets or do anything illegal. But I could separate what was already mine. My inheritance from my grandmother that I had stupidly left sitting in a joint savings account. My business income that I had always deposited into our shared account because I trusted my husband. My personal investments that were in my name but managed jointly. Over the next 10 days, I did everything by the book. I opened a new account in my name only. I moved my inheritance back where it belonged. I redirected my business income. I documented everything. Every transfer had a paper trail. I wasn't trying to disappear money. I was reclaiming it. He didn't notice at first. When he finally did, it was over breakfast. He asked, very casually, why the savings account balance looked lower than usual. I told him, calmly, that I had reorganized my personal funds. He stared at me a little too long and said nothing. 2 weeks later, I was served. I remember standing in the doorway holding the envelope, feeling strangely calm. Not sad. Not angry. Just clear. The papers accused me of being financially reckless. They requested emergency orders to protect marital assets. They asked for exclusive use of the house. I laughed. Out loud. Because his entire filing was built on the assumption that I was still the knave wife who trusted him completely. The woman who wouldn't question him. The woman who wouldn't prepare. When his lawyer realized that a significant portion of what he thought was marital money was legally mine, the tone changed immediately. Suddenly there were emails asking for clarification. Requests for documentation. Then, shockingly fast, a request to pause proceedings. That's when he finally tried to talk to me. He said we should slow down. He said he filed too quickly. He said we could still work things out. His voice was shaking in a way I'd never heard before. Not fear of losing me, fear of losing control. I told him there was nothing to work out. He asked me to move the money back for now. I said no. He said it would look bad in court if I didn't cooperate. I reminded him that everything I moved was legally mine and fully documented. That was the moment his plan truly collapsed. He had assumed I would panic. That I would beg. That I would be so scared of divorce that I'd accept whatever terms he put in front of me just to keep some version of my life intact. He had no backup plan for a wife who didn't fold. Within a month, his filing was amended. The aggressive demands disappeared. The tone softened. He stopped asking for exclusive use of the house. His lawyer suggested mediation. And then, unbelievably, he asked if we could just stay married. Not because he loved me. Because the divorce he planned for himself, clean, controlled, financially advantageous, no longer existed. The power imbalance he'd been counting on was gone. We finalized the divorce 6 months later. I kept my business. I kept my inheritance. I kept my peace. He kept telling people he was blindsided. The truth is, he wasn't blindsided at all. He just never imagined that I would see the plan forming and move faster than him.